My method, she says in the introduction, is sensationalism. 600 pages of sensationalism is almost overpowering, and so is Camille Paglia, but perhaps the most controversial thing about her is she embraces the Western tradition in art and literature and disagrees with feminists who consider it male irrelevance.
I consider myself a feminist, but what I'm trying to do is reform current American feminism to bring it back in line with common sense and with the evidence of world history and present world culture.
Would I be correct in saying that then you just reject the whole notion of this argument over the canon, dead white male argument over the canon, and say you can go back and reevaluate it or redefine it?
Absolutely. I think that this argument, the dead white male argument, is been produced by incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an embarrassment to women. And so, as far as I'm concerned, the best work by women scholars was produced before World War II by Jane Harrison, who is my great idol from the late 19th century and early 20th century at Cambridge, and then those great women who took the highest standards, who were the first faculty members at Smith, at Vassar, at Bryn Mawr, and so on. These are women who were often childless, unmarried, kind of battle-axe maiden ladies wearing a monocle, that kind of thing. And right now, there's a huge scam abroad. All right? Contemporary feminism has not produced one major intellectual work. There has been nothing major since Simone de Beauvoir, who was deeply learned in the past. This has got to stop. Women's studies is turned into this incestuous mess of propaganda and just 10th-rate work. And we cannot go on like this. We cannot allow men to continue to scorn the work of women scholars because of these second-rate standards. I want young women to be reading works at the very highest level, and to think that, women are going to make their own standards separate from that of the great tradition, let's say in the history or the social sciences or hard science. This is simply absurd. Someone must speak out against this.
You begin your book. I must say, I was struck with the non-humility of it.
Oh, I think that's great. I think
in the beginning was nature, you say.
That's right. It's a joke, by the way. People speak of me being humorous. I don't know what they're talking about. This is the funniest academic book ever written. There's a satire right there. In the beginning was nature. It's parroting the Bible. And that was one of my ambitions, to write a book that was so arrogant, just so egomaniacal, to make men feel what it's like to hear male voices all the time, all right? And I wanted to just make this juggernaut that would roll right over men so they would feel, the sort of grandeur of female power. That's why I feel that women should not be accepting second-rate standards, accept the highest standards. Smash men, defeat men. This is my aim.
The other thing that strikes me from this book is paganism.
Yes,
paganism is busting out all over in this book.
Yes, because popular culture has triumphed, I say, over high culture in the late 20th century. Yes.
Paganism, though. Now,
mm-hmm.
You use a word that I don't even think I've ever seen before. Cothian?
Well, Chthonian is a word. Yes, it's coming from Jane Harrison, that who was the great Cambridge anthropologist from the late 19th century and early 20th century, and she used this word to describe the spirits of the underworld. It was an element that she found had not been noticed in the study by 19th century scholars of Greek mythology, which had concentrated merely on the Olympian gods, the beautiful gods living on top of a mountain. So this idea, Chthonian, means literally of the earth. You can also pronounce it chthonic, like that. All right? And what I'm showing is paganism is usually seen in very simplistic terms, as sort of people romping in a green meadow or something. I'm showing that it was a tremendous spiritual system, a comprehensive system that took into account all of the dualities and ambiguities of human existence, of human life. And that's what I'm showing here, the complexity of it and its survival in art. I'm saying essentially Western art, even when it has ostensibly Christian subjects, has actually been inspired by paganism. The Bible and the Ten Commandments forbid images of anything in other of God, of human, of anything in animal nature. So what I am arguing is that the entire Western art tradition is in essence pagan, and that therefore we have this instability built into our culture, the official moral codes on top, and then this turbulent kind of pagan artistic impulse below.
Let's point out that in your book you note that cinema, that movies, is the ultimate 20th century expression of paganism.
Yes, exactly. Movies, in the popular culture, and the entire art tradition, painting and sculpture also, I regard as part of the pagan undercurrent in Western culture. And Judeo-Christianity cannot possibly explain or accept what's going on in art. See, what I've shown is that the feminist dichotomy between art and pornography is indefensible. I have shown pornography everywhere. I've shown it in Michelangelo, even in the Great Pietà, the nude Christ in the Virgin's lap, or in Hamlet. It's everywhere in Hamlet. So that's also another thing I've shown. I take a radically libertarian position. I'm pro-pornography, pro-prostitution, pro-homosexuality, pro-legalization of drugs, and so on. So it's very difficult for current feminism, to resist this kind of argument. It's so rigidified into its sort of like, oh, we are the subversive voices, and then all those like fuddy-duddy neoconservatives over there. I am not that. I'm a voice from the 60s. I stand for free thought and free speech.
Camille Paglia. Her book is called Sexual Persona, Art and Decadence, from Nefertiti to Emily Dickinson.